Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Hoy es martes, el 27 de octubre, y aquí tienen el horario para hoy. Our warm-up question and the primary topic of today's class is El Día de los Muertos. And your warm-up question is, what do you already know, excuse me, about the Day of the Dead? What do you know about when it's celebrated, what time of the year, who it's celebrated with, what part of the Spanish-speaking world celebrates El Dia de los Muertos, with whom people celebrate, how they celebrate, why they celebrate the Day of the Dead. Share that in your warm-up discussion. We'll then go over the comprehension questions that are associated with the PowerPoint that I'll share with you, overviewing the Day of the Dead. So if you click there, you'll have those comprehension questions. You can submit these as a Word document by copying and pasting into a Word document and typing up your responses. You can do that in a Google Doc. You can handwrite your responses, but please do submit them. And if you're having a hard time going straight from calendar to the assignment, it's because it's always associated with my first periods, which if you're not a part of, then you would need to go into courses, pick our class, and then to assignments. You can go in courses and then go to modules. And then in modules, you would find all of the assignments in there in order. Right? You can see chapter 1B is where we're working. And there you have the PowerPoint and comprehension questions. So after we go over those questions together and the PowerPoint together, we'll talk about your project for the Day of the Dead, which is to create a memorial for someone in your family or in your close circle who is no longer with us, who you would like to celebrate their memory of for El Dia de los Muertos. Essentially, what you're going to do is create a memorial. Looks something like this. Doesn't need to be in a shoebox, though. It could be a poster. It could be a memorial that you lay out in your bedroom, a corner of your bedroom, or somewhere else in your home, wherever you'd like to create this memorial. And you're going to choose 5 ofrendas, 5 offerings that remind you of the person you've chosen. And those items should remind you of that person, invoke a memory or a story to share. And for each of those 5 offerings, and you can see the types of offerings listed there in bullet point format, please include a 5-sentence description for each of the 5 offerings, 5 sentences for each, in English or in Spanish. English is totally fine. Explaining why you chose that item, what's the story behind it. Now, if you don't want to choose a family member for whatever reason or another, perhaps the loss is recent or it was a profound loss for you and it's difficult for you to conjure up those feelings, then you can choose maybe someone that's a bit more distant. You can choose a mentor, a family friend, a pet, someone famous that you maybe looked up to, anyone that you would like to recognize for El Dia de los Muertos. So there you have the assignment. If you click here, you have an example that I've created, just the written up portion of my Uncle Mike, who I have chosen for El Dia de los Muertos to celebrate him. And you have the rubric here. If you click on the assignment title, pulls up the rubric and goes into greater detail how you're going to be graded. It's mainly quantitative. 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, or 5 points. You get 5 points for each of your ofrendas. If you write 5 sentences, you get 4 points for 4 sentences. It's very quantitative in terms of what you need to do. So please do look at that rubric if you're looking for additional guidance. So that is our agenda for today. Martes, el 27 de octubre. Y nos vemos en la clase, muchachos. Adiós.